Our feet moved swiftly across the old, tired streets. It was 2:30 in the afternoon. We wound throughout the old city of Hyderabad amongst people passing through, people who looked like they had been on Earth for hundreds of years, not in an elderly way, but in a wise way. Mumbles from various individuals were heard on the main street, down alleyways, and inside tiny shops. The old city seemed to be suspended in a dream resting in neither time or space, but in the atmosphere of another world. This is where we were. One day prior, we had concluded a 2-day team-building program with some of the brightest young minds in the world. One of their exercises was the Helping Hands Project. It's about discovery, inspiration, and giving back. Teams build prosthetic hands needed by hundreds of thousands of amputees worldwide. And we were on the streets hoping to run into a recipient and to fit them with a newly assembled hand. Eventually, we arrived at the Osmania General Hospital of Hyderabad, where the energies of the people swirling around were unlike anything I've ever felt before. A man in a drunken stupor nearly took a swing at the camera, and families whizzed by on scooters. There's the baby in the middle without a helmet. The roadways were busy, and it seemed like every vehicle was using its horn. Orderly driving was not present here. There were lanes and rules, but drivers ignored them. My co-worker and the co-CEO of Odyssey Teams Incorporated, Lane Hensley, stopped to share some perspective.
In 27 years of traveling the planet, I've never felt so out of my comfort zone and just in a world that I'm just learning to appreciate. Watch how they wave at us. Watch this. They're really excited to get recognized. So Bill, my business partner, has been to India before, and it was just a life-changing trip for him. And it's pretty awesome to be here myself and to see where we've sent over 1,000 of our hands and where we're hoping to send thousands more. And it's such a beautiful culture, awesome people. It's a very confusing culture to me, but they seem to understand what's going on. There's definitely some people who think they need some help, but there's some real joy and some love, and the way they are close to each other, it's pretty awesome. So we're just thankful to be able to peek in. Honestly, Odyssey gets to peek into so many companies, so many cultures, so many organizations, and help create a story with them, an Odyssey. And we're on an Odyssey today to see their perspective of what their world's like and how maybe we can make a difference to make it better.
We never found a recipient for a hand, but the trip to India was eye-opening and educational in other ways. Traveling with Lane was especially inspiring, as he led us to many places off the beaten path instead of sticking to a tourist-oriented agenda. Although he had not been to India before, he was an experienced traveler and thus possessed an ability to weave himself into the fabric of India's culture. We rode 3-wheeled taxis, observed games of cricket and soccer, tried to converse with the natives, and took pictures with them as they seemed to laugh at us like we were Disney characters. We also went to the slums, villages removed from any city where the inhabitants lived in tents and went to the bathroom on the ground. Trash was piled up outside the tents, and kids here did not have the resources to pursue an education. This was the real India, the India not confined to a postcard of the Taj Mahal.
Want them?
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We carried with us some gifts, carabiners, shirts, and koozies. Doesn't seem like much, but to the impoverished people of India, it appeared to be a lot. They smiled from ear to ear as Lane handed them the gifts, and the babies enjoyed the carabiners. They rattled like a toy.
No? It's okay, no problem? Okay.
Visiting the slums really put into perspective how fortunate and privileged I am to live in the United States. It also instilled in me admiration for these people who appeared strong as they tried to combat hard circumstances in their lives. Life is not pretty, and we need to realize and acknowledge the realities in other countries like India. Our trip lasted 5 days, and I do wish to go back. It is a country brimming with stories and with life. Chaotic on so many levels, and this is why I enjoyed it. I will someday traverse your dirty streets again. meandering amongst the tiny corners and shops, inhaling the haze of many centuries and immersing myself into your rich culture.